Hey man, what's up with y'all, man? How y'all doing today? Hey man, I'm back. It's your boy, right? Aaron Mars, right? The umpire. The umpire of safety, baby. Listen, man, coming today to help you improve the SPE process, man. Safety, productivity, and execution. All right, listen to me. Listen, man, I got something I want that's near and dear to me, right, that I need to share with you today because I feel like it helped change me, right, in the moment, right? And that's what I deal with. I deal with the moment type situation because I understand that when you're in a place and it doesn't look like quite what you've seen in your vision, it doesn't look like quite what you've seen in your dream, it doesn't look like what you wrote down on paper or on some type of a vision board. It doesn't quite look like what you've spoken outside of your mouth, right? But because of that, right, there you have to have a certain perspective or a certain mindset to help you shift yourself in that particular place that you're in, so that you can give it all that you got, like, so you can go hard. Talk about going hard all the time. And in order to go hard, you got to give it everything. You got to know how to shift yourself so that you can give it everything you got. So listen, I'm going to slow down because I want you to be able to get this today because it's very important. Listen, it's very difficult to work safe, right? To abide by all of the rules and the regulations and the procedures and the things that you have to adapt with in the workplace. It's hard for you to work safe. It's difficult. It's even more difficult for you to be productive, right? To be able to set out to do a task. Make sure you have all the resources that are available to you and that you're maximizing those resources so that you can be as efficiently productive as possible. And it's even more increasingly difficult to execute, to finish what it is that you started in a particular shift, a particular work day, in a work week. It's hard for you to finish. It's hard for you to finish at the highest level that you can possibly finish, right? I'm not talking about just skating by and finishing. I'm talking about doggone finishing at the highest level that you can finish. Being able to put your stamp on it, saying like, this right here, I completed and I did it at the highest level, and it is the best quality that I could possibly put forth. And we're having trouble in the workplace right now meeting all three of those categories, right? We usually hitting somewhere between 20-30%, right? Not even 40, 20-30%, right? On how well we work safe, how well we are productive in the work shift, and how we finish. And I want to improve that today. I want to improve that. I want to take you from 20-30%, right, to 90, 95, right, 100% for some of those that are really gonna take this serious, this appointment that I have with you today serious. So listen to me. I remember for 10 years, right, 10 years. I put up double hand. 10 years. I did the same thing, right? I had a job, all right, and a part of my job was to show up and do what that job required for me to do. And at the same time, I had within me a vision. I had written down, I had written down on paper what it was I wanted to do. I knew exactly how I wanted to get there. I saw it in my mind. I had spoken out loud. I had done all the things that I had read all the books, and I had went to and listened to different things that I could listen to, right? Just because I knew that this wasn't the last stop for me. Like there was some growth that I needed to get within that circumstance, within that environment, and then there was going to be a season for me to grow beyond that environment, right? But none of that was happening. And I wanted to dissect that and kind of see, right, what did I do during that time, right? Because the reality of the situation is that 2 years ago, right, my thinking and my perspective, the things that I thought of that are intricate part of the way, or shape the way that I move on the earth right now, were not a part of my thinking 2 years ago. It wasn't a part of my thinking 1 year ago, right? And so what I want to tell you is that sometimes, right, that in some things are not revealed to you until this time in the season for that, right? So you got to find a way to still go as hard as you possibly can in the moment that you're in, because some stuff is just not going to be available to you from a perspective of wisdom, from a perspective of knowledge, from a perspective of experience, until you get to the season that you're supposed that requires you to tap into that. So 10 years doing the same job, had a vision, did all this, right? All right, so we're talking about 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, right? Okay, I remember getting that feeling of, man, when is this gonna happen for me, right? And so I remember showing up, right? And I decided within me, right, in this moment, that even though it was uncertain to me, I had to take joy in that uncertainty, and it caused me to reach and do things that I had never done before. Listen, man. Listen, I'm not talking about, doing what you're getting paid for. That's par. That's average, right? Right? You assign something, you're assigned something to give, right? To do, all right? And you complete that, what it is that you do, at whatever level you do, you get paid for that, and that's essentially what you're showing up to your job for, right? You have some other things that you are thinking about that you'd like to do, but the essential part is that the job is gonna compensate you for what they ask for you to do, and if you get it done in the time frame that you do it, then you get compensated for it. Let me tell you something. I started stepping outside the box, and I'm asking, and listen, I'm challenging you today to do the same thing, right? In order to take joy in those times where you don't understand why things aren't happening for you, you can't quite grasp the concept, right, that you have no limits on this earth when it comes to how you move, like that. You don't quite have the concept that you can go out and create something on your. You don't quite understand the wisdom behind having the dominion to do what it is you need to do, what you've been sent to do on this earth, right? And the mastery level that's in, like, tapping into that's inside of you, right? And then taking the command of multiplication and scaling it. Listen, you don't quite have that wisdom at the time. So now I'm asking you right now, in the moment it is today, you got to be able to take joy in your uncertainty, right? You can't work safe, you can't be productive, you can't execute at the highest level because you're downtrodden, you're beat down, right? You've been bruised, you've been battered, you've been bewildered, right? There's trial, tribulation, test after test after test, after challenge after challenge after challenge, and now you're just going through the motions. You're going through the motions. You're not even given the extent of the effort and efficiency that you were given when you first came in the door. Like, it's way below. And the sad part about it is, you know how to do the job much better than you did when you first came in the door. So what I'm saying is that as an employee, is somebody that has a goal, right? That wants to grow in what it is that they're doing. Maybe that's within what you're doing right now. Maybe that's outside of that, right? As an employee, you need to be able to take joy in those uncertain times. Like, you gotta fight for that joy, because that joy, right? That joy is what allowed me to still show up, to a job they were asking me to do that I knew how to do. I could do it with my eyes closed and my arms tied behind my back, right? In less time than I possibly could do it, and still get the job. I could do all of that, right? But the part of it is, I needed to stretch myself because that is what was going to take me out of the current situation. And when you got to stretch yourself, they can't challenge you more than you can challenge yourself when it comes to that. You have to be the one to pull that up out of you. You got to understand that it's about you looking in deep inside of you and saying, what can I do more, right, to get myself prepared for when the door swings open, I can walk in and I'm prepared. I don't quite know everything that's going to be in that season, or I know I'm not operating in the full mindset that I need to necessarily operate in, but I also got to make the most of the opportunity that I have at hand. And even though this is monotonous, even though this is something that I feel like I can do with my hands tied behind my back, even though this is getting old and boring, it's repetition, oh man, it's long days, long hours, everything like that, I still have to, I gotta find a way to take joy in it, because there's something in it that I must get and I must use to take to the next level. And so listen, man, I started doing this. I started doing just this, right? And I went and bought the camera, and I said, listen, I'm going to go out and I'm just going to go outside and I'm just going to talk into the camera. And I'm going to give the camera everything I got. Now, mind you, my job's not paying me to do that. My job's not paying me to think of different ways on how to engage the workforce, how to help develop the workforce, how to help improve these three intricate parts of business, right? So that businesses can scale and get more return on their investment and things like that. Nobody was asking me to do it. Nobody was paying me to do it. But because I needed to take joy in the fact that, yes, I was showing up to something that didn't look like what I wanted to look like, I needed to go above and beyond. And in that joy that I took with that during that uncertain time that I fought for, I had to fight for that joy and fight every single day, right, to be joyful, right? I found creative ways, found a way to enter inside my mind, inside my heart, in order for me to go and stretch myself to the next level. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what job you're doing. I don't know who you're employed by and what opportunity they've laid out in front of you, right? But I do understand that within you, there's something that you can do. There's something that's lying dormant inside of you that you can pull out and apply to what you're doing right now. Maybe it is that instead of coming to work 5 minutes before, maybe show up an hour before, a half hour, right? Maybe do something where you're talking to your employees. Maybe it is because you give yourself some extra time to do some extra reading, or whatever the case is. You need to do something outside of the box to help you take joy in that time of uncertainty. And I'm telling you right now, you can't sleep on the fact that every day you got to go as hard as you can. And that joy, like you got to understand that yes, you got to show up. You got to give it all you got in the task, even though you know how to do it with your hands tied behind your back, because there's another level that you can go to. And what happened was, as I started doing this, when I got called on, right, to come and speak to people in the organization, when I got called on to draw reports, when I got called on to forecast what direction the organization was going in, how to get there, right? I had everything that I needed because I took the time to say, let me step outside the box and create what it is in the moment that I feel like I see in my mind. And I saw myself not as what they were employing me, the title that they employed me, but I saw myself as what it is that I'm sent to the earth to do. So there's a lot of work that you have to do, but at the end of the day, you got to be able to take joy in the uncertainty, and the only way you can take joy in the uncertainty is if you make a conscious decision to go over and above what you currently been doing. What you've been doing is par. You gotta fight to get above average. You can do everything that you're supposed to do and do it right, and you will be in the middle of the pack. You will be right in the middle, right with everybody else. But the moment you decide, hey, I'm gonna go over and above because I'm gonna set a standard that nobody else has to tell me what to do, right? That is when you take yourself into the next level. That is when you start to prepare for the next open door. That is how you empty yourself out every day so that you can be filled up. And I'm telling you, once you start to get filled up, right, like I said, the wisdom, right, the perspective, right, of what I had 2 years ago is not what I have today. And because I emptied out every single day and I got filled up, and then I emptied out again and I got filled up, and I took joy and I was uncertain, but I took joy and I was uncertain, I was able to get so filled up to now it's overflowing. And I'm telling you right now, today is the day that you have to overflow. So how do you get this overflow in your organization, man? Three times, right? Legacy Economics Group. Legacy Economics Group. One more time, because the sun is shining. Legacy Economics Group. Listen, I'm the one-stop shop. The umpire safety, Aaron Mars. I'm here to improve your safety, productivity, execution, right? Not just for, right? Not just for the return that you'll get monetarily. Not just for the profits that you will gain from the process, but because there are things in everyone that's attached to the organization that they must get to in this life. And because of that, I want to be able to unlock you at your highest potential. Like if you're giving it everything you got on a job that you show up to every single day, 8, 10, 12, 15 hours a day, 7 days a week, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, whatever it may be, right? That practice that you give on that job daily will absolutely, when you come to a situation that you have to apply yourself to, you apply the same level of intensity to that, just like you apply to your job. Like it'll just be ingrained in you. It'll be all natural. It'll be in your DNA that you gotta go to the highest level and you gotta get there in a hurry and you gotta stay there. Listen to me, man. Legacy Economics Group, right? Legacy Economics is going to help you get filled up, and do the things that you're supposed to do. Let me tell you something. It's your boy, the umpire, Aaron Mars, right? Signing out. I appreciate you. Let's go. Get with me.